The hearing room was electric. The kind of tension you could almost taste in the air, sharp, bitter, and heavy with expectation. Cameras lined the walls, their red recording lights glowing like watchful eyes, waiting to capture the moment something explosive would unfold. Everyone knew that sparks were about to fly. Adam Schiff, the polished, calculated lawmaker known for his ruthless control in congressional hearings, sat forward in his chair with a practiced air of authority. His eyes narrowed, lips pressed thin, as if he were already planning to cut off whatever came next. And across from him sat Senator John Kennedy of Louisiana. Folksy, witty, sharp as a razor beneath his gentleman's drawl, Kennedy was the last man Schiff wanted to go head-to-head with. But the clash was inevitable. Schiff had his hand poised on the gavel, ready to silence any dissent, any voice that threatened the carefully staged narrative he wanted America to hear. The exchange began small, like the first rumble of a coming storm. Schiff introduced the subject with his usual dramatics, his voice heavy with self-importance. He spoke of principles, of guarding democracy, but his words dripped with arrogance, and his tone carried the unmistakable weight of someone who believed he owned the truth. When Kennedy's turn to speak came, Schiff leaned forward with a smug expression, as if daring him to step out of line. "Senator Kennedy," Schiff interrupted before the Louisianan could get a full sentence out, "we're not here for folksy anecdotes. This is serious business, and I will not allow grandstanding in this chamber." The room stirred. It wasn't the first time Schiff had tried to silence someone, but this time was different. This time, it wasn't a weak-willed politician on the receiving end, it was John Kennedy. Kennedy paused, his face calm, his hands folded neatly in front of him. The pause alone seemed to unsettle Schiff. And then Kennedy leaned into the microphone, his voice steady, carrying the easy rhythm of a man who didn't need theatrics to make a point. "Mr. Chairman," he began slowly, "with all due respect, your problem isn't with my words, it's with the truth in them." The room froze. Schiff blinked, taken off guard. Kennedy's tone wasn't aggressive, but it carried the force of a hammer wrapped in velvet. "You can bang that gavel till your arm falls off," Kennedy continued, his eyes never leaving Schiff's, "but you can't stop the American people from seeing through a fairy tale. And what you're trying to sell here today, well, it smells more like fiction than fact." Laughter rippled quietly through the gallery. Schiff flushed, gripping the gavel tighter, but Kennedy wasn't done. He pressed on, with the kind of clarity and plain-spoken honesty that cut through the polished speeches and political gamesmanship. "You know, Congressman," Kennedy said, "back where I'm from, we say that if you can't debate the message, you try to shoot the messenger. And that's what